sources, JJ Redick has signed on a 4-year contract to become the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Rob Pelinka offered the job this morning, and Redick started working on a staff to surround himself with experience. So that breaking news, of course, we know the relationship that JJ has with LeBron. Of course, LeBron James, not at all a part of the head coaching process, hiring process necessarily.
If you are a fan of the other 29 teams in the NBA and wanted JJ Redick as your coach, the bad news is he's not available anymore. But the good news is he'll be available in like a year and a half when the LA Lakers scapegoat him and send him packing. But I'm sure we all saw the news. The LA Lakers got stood up by Dan Hurley and basically went to their backup prom date and made JJ Redick the new head coach. And everybody's been kind of saying the same thing. That Mind the Game pod, the podcast that JJ Redick and LeBron James started together recently, was really an undercover interview for LeBron James. Because we know that LeBron's the GM of the Lakers. It's not Rob Pelinka. The only thing he's got going for him is looking almost identically like Rob Lowe. But in my opinion, the LA Lakers have become one of the worst run teams in the NBA. And Jeannie Buss is one of the worst owners in the NBA. You take out that bubble championship, and she's done absolutely nothing. She's basically like Frank Sinatra Jr. to Frank Sinatra, obviously being Jerry Buss, who is a fantastic owner. But she blows. Like, I feel bad for Laker fans. But JJ Redick's coming into a play-in team with a 40-year-old LeBron James, street clothes Davis, Austin Reeves, and a bunch of scrubs. Maybe you get a good game out of D'Angelo Russell 1 out of every 4 games. But the bottom line is a coach is not going to save this Lakers team. Because they're horrendous in the Western Conference, which is obviously the harder conference. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make the playoffs. Because every summer they get rumored with every big free agent. This summer happens to be a pretty terrible class anyways. But we all know how that usually goes. They get linked with Damian Lillard and DeMar DeRozan, and they end up with Gabe Vincent, Russell Westbrook. They're just not a well-run team, and this roster is not built for 2024. So they bring in JJ Redick, who has pretty much endorsed everything that the Boston Celtics have done this year to win a championship. A lot of threes, believing in the median. You just keep chucking threes, and eventually they start falling. The Lakers are not the Celtics. The Lakers duo is washed up. LeBron James might be having good stats, but his best years are behind him. And Anthony Davis has been good, but while he was, able to miraculously stay healthy this year, I'd be stunned if he's able to repeat that. Injury-prone dudes stay injury-prone. And the supporting cast is horrendous, with literally nobody to hit threes. One random January game, D'Angelo Russell probably goes 6 for 9, but we know about those other games when he goes 2 for 8. And I personally think that having the LA Laker job as a coach is the worst head coaching job in the NBA. Literally 30 out of 30. You have the pressure of a big market, but your own team and your own ownership group won't support you if you have like one bad year. And your best player has 1 million times more power than you do. You basically have to do what LeBron James says. But this isn't Miami Heat LeBron or second stint Cavs LeBron, who is the best player I've ever seen. This is 39-year-old LeBron, who still has good moments, but I really don't think is good enough to win a ring anymore as the best player. And JJ Redick's going to come in and create his new schemes, and guess what? They won't work. They'll still get smoked by the Nuggets, and OKC, and the Timberwolves. The LA Lakers have basically become the Atlanta Hawks. Very, very mid. Addicted to being a play-in team. And I would be shocked if they finish anywhere above the 7 seed. Like me personally, I think JJ Redick's going to coach them to like 40 wins. and they'll miss the playoffs. And then he'll be on the hot seat, and all of a sudden, all that analytical stuff that he spewed on ESPN won't seem so, smart. Because it's easy to say things, it's hard to implement them. And coaches, their main responsibility is to manage egos. That's really all a Joe Mazzulla had to do. Manage Tatum and Brown. A duo that's also like 10 years younger than the Lakers. So if JJ Redick's going to try to replicate, what Boston's doing right now, his best shot is to go find a time machine that Stewie Griffin's built, go back 10 years, and maybe the Lakers have a chance to compete. But mark my words, JJ Redick will fail. Maybe in 15 years he'll succeed, after getting humbled a little bit, because he's one of the most arrogant basketball people I've ever heard. But he will fail with the LA Lakers. He'll be done in 2 years, and if he's lucky, somebody else will give him a chance, which I think they will. And then the Lakers will be going to the next guy. Maybe they'll go after John Calipari next, who knows?